Oh, are we live? Okay, great. Awesome. All right, so we're coming in live right here. This is going to be the number 3 into the number 6. We got OTS versus Lamar Jackson Fan Club. I'm Cursive. How are you all today? And I'm going to be doing the play-by-play / shoutcasting. And I'm joined today with Complexity. Is that how you say your name? I think I'm saying it like I have a speech impediment, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just call me Complex.
Complex. That's what I was going to say, but I was like, I don't know if we're familiar like that.
It's all good.
All right.
What's up?
All right, so we're getting into this matchup. This is actually going to be my first time looking at these teams as they were played in the regular season. So I guess I'm getting here at the best time because we're going to be able to see the playoff caliber of these teams. So Complex, you've been here for a lot longer than I have. I'm still the new guy here. Like, could you tell me a little bit about the teams, maybe about some of the players and like their tendencies?
Yeah, so OTS, they're coming off a little bit of a hot streak. They started off the season a little bit rough, not having the most success. But lately, they've been kind of making a surge and winning a lot of games and taking down a lot of really tough teams. And for Lamar Jackson Fan Club, they also had a very similar story. Started off pretty rough, and they've also been just winning a lot lately. So both these teams are coming into this tournament right now, into playoffs, looking really strong. Um, I would slightly favor OTS though, if I had to pick,
Mm.
just based off individual strength of players, and from what I've seen from them lately, they've been performing very well.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, so could you tell me a little bit about the last time these two teams matched up? And I mean, if you don't really recall, that's fine. Like, I noticed that I think Lamar Jackson Fan Club won, but I'm not sure exactly like how exactly it happened or anything like that. Or did they lose? Maybe I'm misquoting that.
So Lamar Jackson Fan Club did take the win over OTS. Um, it's been a bit now since that game has happened. I'm not super keen on the details myself, but I would argue that coming into this game, we're probably going to see a little bit of a different result.
Okay, and we're actually in draft right now, so got the Kaisa, Seraphine, and Thresh taken away. Pretty solid bands. Like these are all good. Excuse me for coughing. I'm getting a little bit better at it, but still not that great. Ooh, a Nivea band. Okay, so I'm guessing that's a target band. Anything
Yeah, a
stick
little bit of
out?
a questionable ban. I mean, I guess it's okay. I would have liked to have seen them maybe throw a ban at like Diana
Diana.
or something like that. Lamar
A lot of
Jackson Fan
bot
Club,
lane.
though, a lot of strong bands coming out from them, a lot of predictable stuff. And OTS does take away the Samira. So Samira, Thresh are both very popular picks from the bottom lane of Lamar Jackson Fan Club. They've been pretty much playing that 90% of the games I think that they've played since they
Mm.
picked up this new bot lane. So gonna see them on something different here, and Yone being first locked in from Lamar Jackson Fan Club. Lamar is a Yasuo Yone player, so that is expected. OTS.
Okay. And then we got the Camille hover going over here for the OTS. I think. Okay, and there goes that Diana you were talking about. Right on. So definitely we got some really good analysts right here. Like you're already calling it out, and I really like what you were talking about with the Samira Thresh takeaway because that means that they've done their homework. They said, hey, you know what? You're not going to be able to play that same style that you have been finding so much success on, and yeah, we're going to see what they're going to take away. So that's probably going to be the Yone into the Diana in the mid lane. Although I suppose you could say Diana is a flex. And I mean, here goes the Ezra lock in. And, there has been a lot of different things going on with Ezra since that really recent Q buff. So, I mean, we'll see what sort of build he goes with that. Ezra is really versatile in what he can build and, take away. And generally just a really safe carry.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a different pick for OTS's bot lane. Ezreal's not the strongest ADC right now. Despite getting that buff,
Mhm.
he is still not very good right now.
I agree. I agree.
Cho'Gath getting locked in though, despite him getting the nerf to his E, Cho'Gath is still a very strong top laner right now. Just kind of annoying to go against, really.
I think it's interesting that they're picking these solo lane or these solo laners so early. Normally, you see people like, wanting to do, support jungle, not wanting to get the counter pick matchups or anything like that. Oh, the Vayne hover. This is actually, yep, that's going to be locked in. So that's the risk you take when you actually pick something like an Ezreal like this. And I mean, it's not that Ezreal can't outduel Vayne, but Vayne definitely absolutely outscales Ezreal extremely hard. So this is going to be something to watch as the game progresses because now you got the Cho'Gath and the Vayne. These are two really, really powerful champs that scale so hard into late game. Like Cho'Gath obviously scales infinitely. So I mean, we're about to get into the second ban phase, and I gotta see what's going to happen here. Ooh, Garen. Okay.
I have no idea what OTS is drafting, but I am not a fan. Garen is not the pick into this, especially into something like a Vayne. Vayne is really good at kiting out Garen. Garen will never have an opportunity to get onto Vayne, realistically ever. And
I think this
Cho'Gath
might be a
does just
Yumi.
fine.
Do,
Cho'Gath
do they
does just
play
fine into
Yumi here?
Garen.
Do they play Yumi on OTS at all? Because the way their comp is stacking up right here, it looks like a Yumi would be really solid here. I mean, Rengar is banned away, but what do you think about that?
I mean, they can play Yumi, but that's not what they're mostly known for.
Mhm.
Um, I would like to see an Alistar lock in. I mean, we see the Rengar being banned away. Yogiza is very well known for being a Rengar main, and looking to also
Ooh,
target his
Bane
Kayn.
ban.
So throwing some jungle bans while
I'm
Lamar's
guessing
looking
this
at
guy.
banning some
He plays a
supports.
lot of enchanters on the support lane, huh?
I mean, he does, but he can also play like the Alistars, the Thresh, the Blitz, Nautilus, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of either of these drafts so far, personally. I think that both of these teams are kind of playing away from where the current meta is. So this is just going to basically come down to execution. I mean, the Garen pick is kind of troll, and
Mhm.
there's a Zyra.
This is actually old school now. So that Ezreal Zyra lane, that's like shades of like what season 4, season 5, SKT type stuff. So um, that actually is a really solid poke lane. So Vayne is going to have a really hard time dealing with that. It's basically you land one E and you just kind of get pooped on a little bit in lane with the poke coming out. And Hecarim here for the jungle. So I actually like Hecarim a lot. I believe that Hecarim provides something. If you're going to be a creative jungler with your pathing, oh my goodness, Leona, this. Okay, so Leona as support with Vayne, that's interesting. That's really weird. Um, it's not so much about the engage with that, but surviving the lane phase when you're going into a heavy
They'll
poke
be
lane, like
fine.
you think so? Ezreal
Yeah.
Zyra is a super heavy poke lane.
Yeah, Ezreal Zyra is a heavy poke lane, but you got to remember this is Leona Hecarim. They can pretty much engage at will whenever they want to on Ezreal Zyra, and if they burn any summoners early, you can expect a camp and a Trundle. I mean, look, I'm just looking at this draft. Lamar Jackson fan club hard stomps this draft. I I mean, they have a lot better tools, and it's a lot closer to what the meta is right now. I wouldn't have necessarily picked them in this order, but I mean, they got the draft they want, and I think that they're probably going to win this first game pretty easily. I mean, unless Diana gets like crazy fed, I don't see a world where they can ever really try to engage on Lamar Jackson fan club.
Right on. I mean, that's definitely. I agree with that in a lot of ways. I'll definitely want to take a look at this bot side because, with Ezreal Zyra, the big thing about Ezreal with the safety that he provides with that arcane shift is, anytime Leona tries to do R or Zen played in, like he can just arcane shift away and buffer it away. So I feel like the Leona, at least in lane, outside of lane, I think this could be something to watch, but inside the lane phase, I think Leo's probably going to have to focus down the Zyra a little bit. And then it just becomes about, how much poke is Leona taking when she makes that engage. So the whole idea here with these two teams is, sorry for that. With these two teams in the bot side is obviously Leo wants to go in, right? But the problem is if she takes too much poke before she gets to that level 2, level 3 sort of that level spike, it can basically be kind of an int because he's in a blade in, and if you're already so low, you're just going to end up dying basically. So we'll see how this one plays out and everything, but I feel like the bot lane is definitely a lane to watch, and the Diana into the Yone, I mean, who knows how that's going to go. I feel like that could go either way as well. So I think outside of lane phase, it's definitely a Lamar Jackson fan club favorite in my opinion. But inside the lane phase, I feel like this could go either way. So we'll see what the Hecarim does or what the Trundle do to kind of make it even or whatever. Get those advantages around the map and things like that.
Well, I mean, the important thing to note is the fact that Lamar Jackson fan club's comp scales significantly better than OTS's comp. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's just no debate about that. So
Right.
for on the spot to win this, they need to win early, and they need to
Mm-hmm.
win through lanes. But if you look at what they have for lanes, it's Garen versus Cho'Gath. There's in no way, shape, or form they ever get a lead in that lane unless the Cho'Gath just kind of runs it down. Cho'Gath can play very safe. He has very strong wave clear, and he's very strong right now. And frankly, Garen doesn't even beat Cho'Gath like he used to. Cho'Gath is a very strong top laner right now. So they have the stronger top lane. Mid lane's Yone versus Diana. That's going to be a bit more of a skill matchup, but I think Yone's favored in that. It kind of all depends on execution in there. And then bot lane, you have Ezreal Zyra versus Vayne Leona. And while they do have a lot of poke, they don't really have any way to just secure kills unless there's like a really botched engage where Leona's on the back foot running away and just gets burned down. So I feel like Vayne Leona can play this however they want to. Hecarim can even throw a lot of pressure down bot lane, and they'll just win outright in the 3v2 or even the 3v3 with Trundle being there. So you look at it, I don't see any stage in this game where OTS ever has the advantage to win this. I think this is just going to be, maybe a 30-minute game that Lamar Jackson fan club takes down pretty easily.
Okay. That's a bold prediction, sir. All right. Yeah, we could do that. It's a run at him comp. All right, so looks like we're about to get into the game right here. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cough a little bit more, and then hopefully we can get some games started. And obviously, there's gonna be that little bit of a buffer and delay going through, but they're basically gonna be going in right when we load in. So I kind of wanted to take a look and see if anybody took anything crazy on the runes or anything like that, like um, with the drafts and everything. So we'll see, if there's any like interesting rune choices. So far, I don't really see anything crazy though.
One important thing to
Uh,
note, both mid laners took Ignite here. They're both going to be looking to try to get some solo kills, take advantage of that. And in the bottom lane, Zyra took exhaust. So in what is a poke lane, she's taken that exhaust to try to deny and engage, and Leona did take ignite. So I mean, you can kind of get an idea of who's going to be trying to look for the more aggressive play.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so one of the other things that I was kind of looking at was the lack of TP in the mid lane. Like you talked about the ignite and everything, and I've learned more and more as I watch, especially with the way the meta is kind of changing.
I'm good.
I'm not in at all. Oh, I'm not in the game yet. Okay. Okay, now I'm
Looking
in
like
game.
just a little bit of a standard opening right now.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
$55. Okay.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy coming out right out of the opening. They did drop a ward in the top side, on the side of OTS, just to try to see if they ever go for a little bit of an invade. Likewise, Lamar Jackson Fan Club did drop a ward on the Pixel Brush in Topside River, trying to also spot out an invade. And both junglers are starting on the same side of the map as each other, so we might see a scuttle fight in the Topside River unless somebody goes for a full clear into a bottom side.
Mm. So who has the faster clear out of the Hecarim versus the Trundle?
The Trundle does have really good clear, but I mean, so does Hecarim. It kind of just depends on what camps they do. Hecarim has better AoE clear, whereas Trundle has better like single target clear.
Mm.
So I would expect Trundle to probably clear his blue side 3 faster than Hecarim. Hecarim will clear his red 3, but they'll both probably be in River right around the same time.
And there's just trading going on all around the map there. I mean, there's poking going on in the bot lane, mid lane, top lane, and I mean, there's a nice little free setup here for the mid side. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. Yeah, so Leo's taking a lot of poke in this mid lane. This is kind of, or bot lane. This is kind of what I was talking about, where if you poke Leo down enough early on before that level 2, level 3, it basically makes it so that she can't go in on that level 3 spike. So, and if she does, she just dies. And Diana's doing some really good work into this Yone right here. So yeah, so far these lanes are just going all onto the red side right here. Good pushing.
Yeah, they're gonna have the early push advantage. Garen has a really strong level 1 compared to Cho'Gath. At least just in terms like he can Q him, walk away, and usually
Diana put in right there. Get that
window.
electric bar. Oh man, Yone's actually in a lot of trouble. He's gonna have to be really careful right here because Trundle is actually in the vicinity already, and Hecarim's there as well. So they're both hovering close to the mid lane. Yone looks like he's gonna go ahead and back away. But we're gonna have to check and see on this mid lane and see what happens. It looks like Diana's gonna be backing as well.
Yeah, and looking like a little bit surprising, OTS is backing off to get some vision down. I would have liked to have seen them try to get a little bit more harass going on in this bottom lane while they're forced to CS under tower. Just try to really push that early advantage because, I mean, this is going to be the only time they're going to have it.
Yeah, so it looks like Diana went in back. She did pick up some boots right here. Oh, big electrocute damage going down on this Vayne right here.
We are seeing some pings mid lane. Trundle's coming in for the gank.
Yeah, here we go, and let's see what happens. Nice pillar, and that's going to be that EN to the Diana, and that flash away by Lamar Jackson fan. All right, yo, good job. I mean, that's a good, successful gank, in my opinion, by the Trundle. Good pillar. He burns the flash by the Yo, and now if he wants to go back and get that repeat gank, he can. And Trundle's making his way to the spot side as well, just to cover him, just to see, hey, you know what? They are pushed in. Maybe Hecarim's going to get creative and go for a gank right here. So I really like the Trundle pathing and everything that they're doing right here early on. Pretty even game.
Yeah, and I would say that Yone has to be especially careful not having flash and Diana having the flash option. So they could possibly try to look at another gank here in this mid lane. At least I would if I was a jungler here. You really want to try to punish flash timers as best you can.
And I like that Hecarim already completed that Sheen right there. Sheen is such a big power spike for Hecarim. Like, when he's going in and he's got that sheen, like it's so weird that he spikes on a sheen, like, oh, there we go, Diana's going in, that's gonna do the electric proc and get the bone plating on the way out. And Yone's actually he's gonna sustain up and everything. He does have, a couple of pots and he's got the gore and shield. Oh, Diana says, no, we're not done yet. We're not
Oh,
done.
Yon's in trouble.
Yeah, Yona's in a lot of
Okay.
trouble, and he might get dove right here, but I don't think so. Not quite.
Nah.
Oh,
He won't get dove here. Cho'Gath did roam down just to make sure nothing could happen from it, but Diana was all out of mana, so not really able to follow up to try to do anything else. Diana is in trouble here, though. Hecarim just goes in for the E, just chunks her down a little bit. Diana just kind of walks away, not really in any real danger.
yeah, and I mean, one of the nice things about this matchup for Yon is he doesn't have mana. He's resourceless. So Diana, you can see right there, she's out of mana. So, I mean, she doesn't have any corrupting pod or any biscuits coming to her or anything. So she's already out of mana. So that pushing power that she just had is kind of, gone out the window, where Yon can just say, hey, you know what? I don't have to deal with any resources. So, yeah, and I mean, we still got this top lane. Garen's still pushing this in, and now Cho'Gath is actually kind of low with the mana. But I mean, Cho'Gath is a little bit different just because of the way his passive works and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Cho'Gath can just sustain off the wave every time a minion dies. One important thing to note, though, for Cho'Gath, he doesn't have, like, really any mana. Matter of fact, Garen, if he's smart, can look to try to dive him here, unless the Hecarim doesn't showing, looking like he will just back off the wave. But Cho'Gath is down currently 10 CS. We'll get a little bit closer to, like, 8 CS by the time he's done catching that wave.
Yeah, and there goes that spirit image by the Yon right there. It looked like he was looking for the knockup. Luckily, Trundle and Zyra had made their way over. And ooh, Ezreal just dodges that Zenith play, but he's still going to get rooted up. Let's see if the condemn is going to come down. Nope, and here we go. We're going for it. Ezreal says, get away from me. Not today, damn it. And they're just going to go ahead and back away. They're going to reset and get those timers back, and we'll see if Leona wants to go back there again.
And on the top side of the map, Garen did burn his flash. So Garen will be flashless, which is the scariest time for him, honestly, against a Cho'Gath Hecarim. He'll have no way to try to dodge the gank, and this is where I would expect Cho'Gath to start getting very strong, or Hecarim to start snowballing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I noticed, so I mean, with this lane, Ezreal, Zyra, and everything, like they can perma push this if they want to, which is what they've been doing. But I'm seeing that Vayne's doing a really good job of CS and under tower. She's only about she's picking up all this, so she's probably gonna, she's 2 CS down at the moment. So this is not the way you want this lane to go if you're this Ezreal, Zyra. You don't want Vayne to be even with you. Like, you want him to be getting a huge lead, and they are going to pick up this Drake right here. Oh, look at Yon going in with that ulti in. Man, snap
Yon
back.
tried.
Yeah, and Diana, I thought she was going to take that in, but it looks like she's just going to go ahead and just say, okay, like, that was kind of frisky. You got a little fancy right there, but we still got the Drake. So I appreciate Yon going for that. Like, that was really interesting, and luckily he doesn't die for it.
Yeah, and on top side of this map, this wave will be pushing into Garen.
Oh, look at Diana.
Looking like this mid lane gank.
Oh no, here goes Hecarim ulting in. That's going to be the ignite going down. So much damage going down over onto the Diana, and Yo's going to pick up that first blood at 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, and they're pushing this in as quick as they can to make sure that wave resets and bounces, and Diana's going to miss so much. She's actually going to be in so much trouble now. Luckily, she didn't burn any flash or anything, so that's good. But outside of that, I mean, the wave is going to reset and bounce, but I mean, she's going to be down, 20 CS already, and down that first blood as well. So Yon is in really good position to start snowballing this game.
And looking like we are going to be taking a pause here for just a moment. Looking like one of the players is having some internet issues, so.
All right, and yeah, as soon as we find out what that issue is and everything, let's see here. Yeah, a lot of lag he's talking about and Wi-Fi. Like, I would say I would highly recommend investing in an Ethernet cable. Like, I got it because I got an Ethernet cable just because I play fighting games online, and basically, if you play Tekken 7 and you get that Wi-Fi indicator that they have now in this season, like, people aren't going to take the matches. But I've noticed it just gives a lot of stability to the connection, to where you're not dropping packets and frame rates and all that stuff. So it works really well on League 2. So like normally my ping on League is like maybe 20, and like when I was just doing Wi-Fi, it would go from like 20 to like 25, 26. But like now it's just constantly like 20 or 24, and it just stayed there. So the game has paused and everything, and I mean Yon looking pretty solid here in the mid lane, and we're kind of seeing the top side starting to go to the Cho'Gath advantage too. I mean, he hung around. He didn't take too much, stuff from the Garen and everything. And now I don't know. I think what you predicted in the champ select, it might be coming to fruition here. Like Cho'Gath looks like he's in really solid position to start taking over this game, at least in the top lane.
Yeah, Cho'Gath doesn't exactly need gold to be strong. His biggest thing will be experience, and he's not missed any experience lately. Looking like they are trying to set up though for this Rift Herald. There's some fighting going on down here. Bottom side, Zyra.
Good. And immediately exhausted down, condemned into the wall, and oh man, Vayne's running for her life, and here we go, fights over in the Rift Herald as well. And that's going to be the Cho'Gath silencing up, and Diana's going in, nice pillar going down to block off that Cho'Gath escape. Let's see if he can get over here, flash forward into the chomp, and he's got the conquer part. Oh, Diana going in with that ulti, that's going to be the kill going over to the Diana. Nice little wombo combo set up by the Trundle Diana combo. So I really like what they did right there, and yeah, she's going to go ahead and keep that to stop that back as well. So a lot of fighting over. Oh my goodness! And Xenoblade into that ulti, into that solar flare, and has to flash away. Ezra dead to right here, and that's going to be a dead Zyra probably going down as well. She's stunned up, and she burned a flash. That's a double kill going over to the Vayne, and yeah. So this is actually bad for this red team. Like when you looked at what they were doing, they were perma pushing all the time, but they weren't getting kills. Like it's one of those things
Careful
where you
about
have
the dive.
Yeah, it looks like they are set up for this dive right here. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start channeling this back. And I mean, oh, look at this. And here goes that Arcane Barrage, Mystic Barrage, whatever it's called. They are. And now Diana's getting it turned on her, and that's the Xenoblade going in. Diana flashes away. Trunda's going to go ahead and put up the pillar. She's going to go ahead and walk away. And now we got fighting in the top lane, too. Garrett's running for his life. There goes that Q knockup. And oh, Silent stuff with the grass pocket. Garrett's just like, get away from me, you big bug bastard. There's so many fights going on, and we're going to see who's going to take over this game. But it's 10 minutes in, 3 kills to 1. We got a 2K advantage here for the Lamar Jackson fan club. And yeah, like you predicted, like it is slowly starting to see more and more. Like it looks like Lamar Jackson fan club did win this draft.
Yeah, Vayne is 2-0 right now. That was kind of what was expected. Leona can just, once she hits 6, can just press R. She catches either of them. It's a near guaranteed kill. They really don't have any way to deny that from happening. And I mean, they had their chance to try to build a lead early, try to make something happen early, and I mean, this Vayne's just going to start taking over this game now. Yone is still 1-0, sitting about 20 CS up over the Diana. Vayne 2-0, only down 5 CS, which, I mean, that gap's closing. Top lane, Cho'Gath was just running down Garen. Despite Garen having a slight level advantage right now, I think Cho'Gath's doing just fine up here.
I mean, Garen is up quite a bit of CS, but yeah, you kind of talk about it. Like Cho'Gath, I mean, he is going to be, it looks like he's building full tank. So, I mean, even if Garen is up in CS, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you know, I'm going to be all right because I'm Cho'Gath. And yeah, here we go. More skirmishing going on. Garen's spinning. Let's see what Cho'Gath does right here. He doesn't have a ton of mana, but that was a lot of damage on the way out. And we're going to see how this Zyra Ezreal handles this lane, because I don't think they can actually keep perma pushing this. Oh my good, here we go
for the dive.
Yeah, that dive flash forward. That's gonna be that ultimate to pick up that kill on that tower dive. Great play by this Garen to get that. And yeah, so we're gonna see if they want to keep fighting on this mid lane. Oh, here comes Heckman coming
Garen's
in.
Dead.
Yeah, Garen's gonna go ahead and fall right here. He's taking a lot of damage on the way out. That's gonna be a dead Garen. Oh, and you know what? You burn the flash to pick up the kill, and there goes Diana going in, and you know what? We got the Yone saying, hey, I can do some fancy footwork there too. He's gonna go ahead and just ulti and just walk away.
Yeah, that was kind of expected. When Garen is able to get a full E spin, like get all of that damage off, while that spin is going, it is shredding your armor. So Cho'Gath was just taking a massive amount of damage and really just set up a very easy to execute dive for the Garen. I'm a little bit surprised that Hecarim didn't start coming top lane a lot sooner. If I was a top laner, I would have been spam pinging for my jungler to come top, because I mean, Garen was just crashing that wave in. He went for it just right on time as expected, and I mean, he ends up getting the kill for it. But on the top side of the map, they do get Rift Herald down, almost knocked down this tower here, and on bottom side of the map, OTS pick up another dragon.
Yeah, I really like what Cho'Gath did right there. Like, he recognized, hey, the Rift Herald and everything, so they dropped the Rift Herald, got a big amount of plates right there, and then they traded that. Red team ended up picking up that trade right there, so that was a little nice push and pull of macro, and now Cho'Gath is just trying to whittle down the Garen to dissuade anything else. And I mean, Leona does have the solar flare available, so I mean, this was kind of the thing that I was looking at in the bot side where Ezreal Zyra can't continue to keep pushing this because even if Ezreal does, dodge this arcane or Zenith Blade, like if he does, dodge it with the arcane shift, like she still can just solar flare you. So like he has to be really mindful of his positioning and I mean, here we go. Here goes that spinning, spinning again, and Garen knew what was going on right there. He just walks away from that Q knockup, and yeah, this is going to be a freeze right here as well. Actually, not even a freeze. She just blocked it so that nothing happened, and that's gonna be first tower.
What is Yone doing?
He was trying to get that first tower.
That's a little bit troll. I would like to have seen them try to just push the wave in and just attack it one time really easy. Sacrificing your health bar to try to take that tower like that is very questionable. Meanwhile, he ended up losing 2 plates mid to Diana for the greedy play, so not the smartest thing to do, but I mean, hey, they still ended up getting the top tower, and at the end of the day, he does have a bit of a lead right now on this Diana, sitting about 300 gold up, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and it looks like Essence Reaver got completed by Ezra. Uh-oh, here we go. Headgrim coming in hot. There goes that ulti in it. Okay, so he's going to whiff on his ulti with the Yone. And yeah, so that just looked like a defensive pillar just to stop anymore. Diana doesn't have a lot of mana, so she can't really fight too much more of this, like a prolonged fight. And we got pings going down all around the map. We got the Vayne Leona rotating up here. And I mean, Cho'Gath actually is down here as well. So, I mean, all hell is breaking loose on the bot side. And yeah, Hecarim's looking for more here. And there goes Garen, spin to win, right? And Cho'Gath is going to whiff right there on the Q, and he's just going to go ahead and walk away and say, I'll get you next time.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is here with everybody being mid. Maybe just try to pressure this mid tower. I would like to see them shove this out and push over to Rift Herald and try to pressure this. And that looks like what they're trying to do right now. But they won't be able to take this Rift Herald without Vayne and Leona being there, unless they can pull Zyra Ezreal away.
Yeah, so, I mean, it looks like they're just doing a really good job at tracking everything. And, I mean, Hecarim doesn't have his ultimate available just yet. But, I mean, I'd like to see them, actually put down some vision here. That way they can see if they're actually starting up this Rift Herald. And then from there, maybe rotate and get Cryo in mid. Or maybe, oh my god, he flashes
good flash from
Diana R. Yeah, that was really good. He did that so well. Nice little, what's that called? Dexterity. Be like, oh man, I gotta push R right here. So yeah, or F. I'm sorry, I was about to cough. Uh-oh. And there goes Diana. She's in a lot of trouble. There goes the Vayne. She's gonna go ahead and pop that ulti, and Garen's spinning on her. That's gonna be a shutdown going over with the Diana, and the Garen just, so much damage coming through on the Vayne, and that was a big shutdown going over to the. And when you look at Vayne and everything, oh my goodness! And now it's getting turned around. That's going to be the Zenith Blade going in, Solar Flare to lock up so much, and that Hecarim ulti and into the Zyra knockup. Uh-oh! Now they're running for their lives. It looks like Diana's going to fall as well. Yone with that ulti. Oh my goodness! Can we get hyped for that? Yone just came in and crashed everybody. Like he crashed the party so hard, and now Blue Team is actually in position to pick up this River. That's going to be their prize right there. That's going to be a 2-for-1. Actually, it looks more like a 2-for-2, but
not the reset.
Reset. Oh no, that's so bad. I think they're still going to get it spot though.
Yeah, that started off really bad. Some questionable positioning from the Vayne. Just kind of walking up there with Hecarim without having the Cho'Gath or the Leona around. But I mean, they ended up still winning that team fight. A huge play from LAMAR Jackson fan coming through on the Yone to clean it up. Very well done from him. I mean, that's just the comp difference. I mean, they have a stronger team fighting comp, and even with number disadvantage, I mean, they still ended up taking the win there with 3 people up and end up getting the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what they do with that Rift Herald. This Drake is about to spawn. Looks like Diana just eat in right there. Give Cho'Gath a little love tap on the way out. Oh, I like this play right here. So we'll see what they do. So normally what I see is they drop the Rift Herald, they get Cryo mid, and then they rotate down. Exactly. So they're going to rotate down the Dragon and try to get this Drake. Yeah, so this should be really nice play here. So I see this a lot in Korea and the US.
It feels bad for Cho'Gath. He missed the ultimate, so he does not get the stack.
Yeah, no stacks on the
That's
photo.
very unfortunate.
Oh,
Diana
nice
does
little
go in.
PR right there and into the root with the Zyra, and that's going to be the subjugate going down on the Cho'Gath as well. He's getting so many stats right here. Uh-oh, Hecarim's actually behind enemy lines. He's in so much trouble, and that's going to be the solar flare to block it, and TP's coming down. Oh, into another Xenoblade. Oh, no. Can this get turned around? Spinning on everything. Vayne's trying to... Oh, my God, and there goes the ulti by Garrett. Vayne barely just...
close on the ult.
Yeah, that was so close. I mean, that... Okay, it's going to get paused again. That was actually crazy that nobody fell with the engage and the re-engage. Like skirmishes everywhere. So let's take a look and see what's actually happening in game.
Yeah, looking like we are pausing for another another issue with internet. Alrighty. So I mean, let's just break down what just happened there. So they're fighting over this Cloud Dragon, and they end up actually getting it this time for Lamar Jackson Fan Club. A lot of ultimates, a lot of summoners being burned. Vayne burning both flash, heal. Leona had to burn her flash as well. Cho'Gath burned flash, and on the side of OTS, I mean, they still have, 2 flashes up. So, I mean, they've got summoner advantage right now, and they could look to try to possibly get a little bit more aggressive here, assuming they've got the health bars for it. I mean,
One of the things
Vayne's
that I
going
was
to have to reset here. She can't fight.
yeah, I was really surprised that Vayne went in so Rambo-ish. Like she went in like so quick, and Garen, as soon as he saw Vayne, he was like, you're gonna be mine. And like Vayne had to flash away, and I'm surprised she's lived through that because normally, Garen's ulti is, I don't know, when that true damage ulti comes down, it normally just kills you right there. But I mean, she barely got away, so she's very, very lucky. I think that might make Vayne, play a little bit more cautious because Garen does look like he's looking for Vayne. Like as soon as he sees Vayne, he's turning on it. And yeah, that's going to be another turret going down here for the red team. And yeah, so 2 Drakes to 1. We got the next Drake in about 4 minutes, and we got the Baron up in about a minute. So normally this is the part where you're starting to move your vision into that Baron pit or around the Baron pit in that topside jungle, and Leo's already here, clearing out some vision on the bot side. Honestly, this vision down here doesn't really matter too much. Like the prize right now is gonna be shifting to the Baron. And Vayne's just scaling up, getting all this CS. I mean, she's still a little bit of CS down, but I mean, she does have her mythic where Ezreal went for the Essence Reaper first to have that have that mana sustain. So I like that a lot. And it looks like Diana's still working on that Zanya's and everything. She's got the Seeker's Arm Guard. I like that she went the armor boost right here. That's actually a pretty good pickup here. We got Hecarim, I mean, Vayne does true damage with the Silver Bolts, but I mean, still some of her damage is AD, so she's going to get a lot of value out of that. Same thing with Trundle. Like, he kind of went for the same sort of thing where you go for the armor boots, and Hecarim's looking for it. There goes
Leona hits the...
And yeah, and now actually it looks like Trundle's going to fall right there, and that's going to be the chop to go ahead and secure that kill on the Trundle right there. And it looks like Yon didn't even get an assist for that. He had ulted in to try to get something out of it, but yeah, they're going to rotate into the mid side. Going to go ahead and knock this down, and that's, I thought she had a big root right there on everybody, but it looks like it just missed. Like, if that would have landed a 2-man root, like, that would have been sick. But yeah, so this is going to set that up in really good position and start taking up vision control in the topside jungle. And there we go. There goes the Xenoblade forward into that knockup. And that's going to be the... Oh, my goodness. Huge ulti by Diana. Oh, my goodness. She's going to fall for it. And Zyra's actually doing so much work with her ulti as well. So that's going to be a 2-for-1 correction. So that got turned around so crazily. Like Diana with that ulti to go in, and then that combo with the Diana Zyra. That was such a crazy interaction. I mean, Ezreal had to do his ulti from forever away, but I mean, it did hit people. So we're gonna see what happens here. Like, I'd like to see Zyra now actually, since they won that fight, they need to actually start moving their wards up, and that's gonna be another game pause. So what do you think about what we just saw right there? I kind of want to rewind that because that was so sick with the wombo combo.
Yeah, this is now the 3rd pause due to internet issues. A little bit questionable, but anyways, so breaking down that last fight, I mean, Diana went in there and hit a huge 4-man ultimate that kind of saved the fight. I mean, had she not done that, we could be seeing a very different game right now. I mean, that could have been mid tower, that could have been even Baron if she doesn't put out that much damage right there. Also, one thing to note, it is 1,000 gold lead right now in the jungle in favor of the Hecarim, but across the board in other positions, it is fairly close to even. I mean, top lane, despite being down 43 CS, did get all those plates early on in the game, and they're sitting within 100 gold of each other right now.
Wow, so it's a really close game. All right, awesome. And I mean, that's what I like to see. I like to see it where it's not just a raffle stomp. You know what I mean? Where it's anybody could win at any time. And you know what we saw right there, what you just talked about, where Diana just kind of put the team on her back, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going in. You guys better back me up." And I mean, Zyra had a really nice knockup right there with her own ulti as well. So it was like a knockup into a knockup. So like it was a lot of damage, and as Zyra gets more and more items, like that's going to be the thing that I'm actually looking to now because it looks like Zyra's ironically the primary follow up whenever Diana goes in. Like when you look at the damage that's coming out, like you look at Ezreal, you know he's got a lot of single target damage and things like that. You know Garen can spin on people and everything, but when you're looking at that AOE damage, that spread damage, like it's gonna come from the Zyra. So once Zyra completes, normally you see Leandries as the first item on the Zyra. I mean, we'll see what she ends up picking.
Alrighty, and look like we are back into the action now.
Yeah.
So, very curious to see what Lamar Jackson fan club wants to do here, if they want to try to pressure this Baron or not. Looking like they are just trying to shove out these waves, though, and just farm up a little bit. I mean, they do hard out scale. They're not really in a position where they need to force anything, per se. But, I mean, they are somewhat in the driver's seats.
Absolutely, yeah. I 100% agree. I definitely agree that Lamar Jackson fan club is in the driver's seat. I like what is it, OTS, right? OTS. I like what they're doing with their vision game. Like you see that nice line in that river. Like they have really good vision in the bot side. So I mean that's awesome. I mean it's a minute until the next Drake. And it looks like a lot of that vision is getting cleared out. Oh, what are they doing right here? Look at this.
Starting up.
Start.
They spotted out Yogiza in the bottom lane. And so now they decided that they're just going to 5-man start up and force this Baron, but Hecarim is really fast, and they're not burning this thing very quickly. They could very easily zone him off here.
Oh, and there we go. Diana's turning on the Cho'Gath. Nice little Diana ulti, so much wombo combo with the stun into the roof, and that's going to be a dead Cho'Gath. And this is how you start up fights here, when you're not sure like what happens, when the game stalls out. And you were talking about it, really good, because Lamar Jackson fan club, you're absolutely right. They were in control. And oh, there goes that Hecarim going in. Big damage going in. Yeah, and Solar Flare into that Yon ulti, big damage there, and there goes that Zyra ulti, and Vayne's gonna pick up one. That's gonna be, Vayne's actually gonna condemn, but it's too late. She's already gonna fall. Garen's chasing down this Leo. That's gonna be the double kill picked up for the Garen, and now Yon's running for his life, and they could just turn back onto the Baron, but I mean, they are a little bit low. Nope, it looks like they're gonna go ahead and push this in, and maybe walk to the Drake instead. So this is how you win these games. When you start stalling out, when you're saying, hey, Vayne is just, stalling out the game, Cho'Gath stalling out the game, they're just farming up, kind of like we talked about. You just go to Baron, you force the fight, you force the issue. You don't wait for them to make the moves. You have to force the issue and force the pace. And that's exactly what OTS did right there. They said, hey, you know what? We're not going to let you just sit back and scale. You have to come to us. You have to come to us. And look at all the damage right now taken by the Yon, and he has to dash away. That's going to be the cloud break that picked up by OTS right here. So great job by them to recognize what they needed to do to take control of this game, because it was slowly starting to get more and more in favor of Lamar Jackson fan club.
Yeah, it was a little bit questionable decision to still try to take the fight, even after Cho'Gath just got picked off. I mean, I understand, you do have to zone him off, but hold on one moment, we do have a fight going on.
Yeah, it looks like Leo has to flash away right there, and I mean, that was a nice little route there by the Zyra to just lock it in place right there, and then that follow-up damage came through, and I think they're just going to go back to the Baron and start this dance up again. I mean, basically, okay, there goes that...
Cho'Gath's going to get caught.
I think he's all right this time. I mean,
Cho'Gath needs... He's going to have to go for a TP out. It's too late for him now. Cho'Gath's in trouble.
Subjugate! Yeah, he's in trouble. He's definitely going to fall. You're right. And he actually...
Yeah.
That's just going to be a bug.
Yeah, this is very questionable shot calling going on from Lamar Jackson fan club. I mean, they're kind of just spread out all around the map everywhere right now, not really grouping or trying to pressure or anything, and they're just getting picked off one at a time.
They see this Baron being taken right now. Like, they see it, and you see Vayne's still in the bot side. Leo and Yon, they're just going to have to go ahead and concede this, it looks like. Leo and Yon
this is
there goes Diana going in. And that's going to be the okay. He's so dead,
Oh.
and then Ignite is going to go ahead and secure that kill. That's going to be the red team Baron power play in full vision, and Lamar Jackson doesn't have an answer. And you saw what Cho'Gath was trying to do. Cho'Gath, what he wanted to do was actually set up some vision. Like he had a control ward in inventory. He wanted to clear out vision so that they could actually see what was going on. But the moment that he got picked off, like it just got turned around so quick that Lamar Jackson didn't really know what to do. They don't have those TPs. And I kind of talked about it at the beginning where TP, globals, like all these things are so important in this meta. Skirmishes are so important. And being able to, come to a fight. And that's kind of why you see Pantheon, Galio, TF, being such a big part of the meta right now. Because these sort of ultimates, these globals, where you can just join the fight and just impact the fight right away and turn it in your favor. Like, because there isn't any, and he's the only one with TPN. The moment that it kind of started up on him, there was nobody that could come to his rescue. And then you kind of saw Hecarim like, well, maybe I can go for cheeky steal. And it's like, nah, not really, not so much. They went ahead, and Diana just said, no, shut that down right away. So now we got what? About a 2K gold lead. We got a Baron power play. And I think they might start up maybe a 1-4, possibly?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. One important thing to take note of is this is still only a 2,000 gold difference game, so it is still very close in terms of just item spike.
There we go. Yeah, and I mean, that is going to be nice little Trundle pillar there. And there goes that two-shot barrage into the Diana ultimate, and Ezreal's going to pick up that kill right there. And yeah, we got this split push by the Garen, and that's going to be this mid tower. Probably, that's going to be that mid inhib flawless. That's going to be the inhib flawless. And Garen and Cho'Gath still fighting it out, but hey, you know what, Mr. Bug? Your base is about to be in shambles. They're already pushing this down. Cho'Gath, you have to give this up. You have to come back and actually stop this push on the inhib, and that's going to be another pause right here. So what I'd like to see what happens is Cho'Gath is going to have to rotate down. Just give up this tier 2 or whatever. It's not a big deal. Like losing a tier 2 is not a big deal at almost 30 minutes in when they're looking at, Nexus turrets. Like the tier 2 doesn't matter at this point. Your Nexus turret matters. Like if they knock down both Nexus turrets and now you're TPing in, like it's already too late because you got exposed Nexus. So we're going to see what this pause is. And Ezreal did, Ezreal with this build. Okay, so Duskblade with Essence Reaper. I hadn't seen this before. I like that.
Yeah, this is the new build for Ezreal. It is, from what I've seen, it is quite good. I wouldn't say it's good enough to make Ezreal like a super strong pick in the meta, but it is a viable build option on him right now. I would still put him below the top ADCs though.
This is actually really similar to, I'm not going to say so I'm a theory crafter as well, so I've made up a build. I'm not going to say to what character, but I posted it into their subreddit, and there were some people that really loved it, and it's almost exactly the same as this. But because the character that I posted it to is an assassin, like they saw Essence Reaver and they immediately was just like, oh no, you can't build an Essence Reaver. I'm like, why not? You need mana. We're about to get back into this play, so I know for sure like these two items spike extremely hard on most characters. So I'm sure it's going to spike hard on Ezreal as well. Oh, look at the little proxy here. Cho'Gath is in trouble with getting build right here, and there we go. And that's the Hecarim going in. Subjugate's going down on the Cho'Gath. Chandra's taking some base. Cho'Gath's trying to walk away, and Zyra's in a lot of trouble too. And that's going to be that ultimate coming down. Demacia to pick up the kill on the Trundle. That's going to be the tier 2 falling absolutely. And now it looks like OTS is in full control of this game. They are on the Dragon Soul point as well. It's 3 Drakes on Dragon spawning in about a minute. I'm coughing because I'm just so excited. I'm looking at these plays and I'm just so impressed by how they're handling the macro, the decision making throughout the map. And you look at what they did on their way out. They left Vision all in that topside jump. So if they do want to rotate back through and start working on that top inhib tower, they can. And here we go. Garen's going to flash, and that's going to be the Yone flashing away. And Garen's just spinning on the way out. And let's see here. Oh, and Hecarim was looking for a re-engage, but yeah, he's not going to go find it. Yeah. This fight is definitely going to be for the Dragon Soul coming up here next. We got about, we'll call it 25 seconds until that Wind Drake starts up. So yeah, they're definitely trying to get in position here, and we might see a Death Brush here. Let's see what happens. Yep, this is definitely a Death Brush. There we go, going forward immediately onto the Bane. That's going to be a dead Bane. Tries to get the peel off, but it's already too little, too late. This fight is already won. They can't take it anymore. Oh my goodness! But you know what? If Ezreal falls right here, no, he isn't. He's just going to go ahead and Arcane shift away, and that's going to be this Dragon Soul, probably picked up for OTS right here. So we're seeing superior macro. Like they might have lost the draft, but they're saying, hey, you know what? The game isn't played on paper, baby. It's played in game, and that's what we're all about. When we get in game, we're gonna put you to the test. We're gonna say, what is your decision making like? And that's gonna be a dead Hecarim exploded by Diana with that ulti just coming in and exploding everybody. So yeah, I'm actually insanely impressed by OTS right here. Like their macro is very solid. Like they might have had a questionable draft, but I think what we're really looking at, like it wasn't even about mechanics. Like when you look at this team, like they're not playing super mechanically intense players, champions. They're playing things that are pretty simple and not even a lot of CC at that. But for one, they're playing as a team. For two, they're playing around the map. They're pushing objectives, pushing advantages, and you're just seeing them just taking everything on this map. They're taking the jungle. They're setting up vision. They're pushing in lanes. They're having really solid wave control. And this is good League of Legends. When I watch stuff like this, it just makes me say, you know what? They're playing a really solid game. And we're gonna see, you know, if they can end up getting this dub. Like they're in really good position to do it. They're up about 5K. They're pushing down this bot side as well. They do have the lane pushed in the top against, so I mean, somebody is probably going to have to come catch that wave. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and back right here, and the Baron's going to be up in about a minute. So what I would probably recommend is they just reset right here, you know, back, buy items, you know, get some more control wards, set up for this next Baron, because the next Baron is going to be how this game is won.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to what you had said, like, yeah, you're right. I mean, you could lose draft on paper, but I mean, it's a matter of execution at the end of the day, and we're just seeing significantly better execution from the side of OTS. I mean, they had a little bit of a questionable early game, but they were still getting dragons off spawn, setting them up properly and whatnot, playing the map better. And I mean, Lamar Jackson fan club just kind of run around like chickens with their head cut off, walking through fog of war and getting caught out every step of the way. So I'd like to see them, you know, maybe try to figure this out and whatnot. I mean, the game's not over yet. They're only 5,000 gold down, so they still scale very well in this game. So if maybe they can, you know, figure out a creative way to get a pick or get at one of these bounties, they can definitely look to try to come back into this.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Like, oh my god, what? That control ward doesn't disable that? That's so crazy. That control ward by that blue isn't disabling that trinket. What?
And I guess nobody wanted blue buff?
Nobody wanted blue buff. It just resets right there. And here we go. They're actually going to go ahead and bait this out again. So this is going to force Lamar Jackson to make a decision. Oh my god, and it's going down so much faster than before. And Zyra this time has Morella Namaka. So if you walk up to her this time, you're actually going to get that nice healing debuff spread around on everybody. And that's going to be the Baron going down. And there we go. There's that move fall into the Diana.
Man.
And oh, hell, it's breaking loose again. This is for the win. Who's going to take it? Who's going to come away with this dub in game one? They're fighting their way out. And it looks like Trundle's going to fall to the guild. And now it looks like Vayne is just taking over the game. Slow and steady wins the race. Can she actually secure this one? Look at the kite back. Triple kill for the Garen, but it's already too little too late. That's going to be the end. Whew.
Excellent team fight right there. You're down 5,000 gold, but they picked off the right targets. Vayne was in a good position this time, and they were able to end up taking down OTS here. We have a game on our hands.
Oh yeah, baby. We got a huge game because now Vayne is probably going to back right here. I think she's probably going to go, what, Bloodthirster? Maybe Borg? I'm not 100% sure, but with the items that she has right here, it could go either way. And now this Vayne is... I would say she's online right now. Like, she's gonna probably buy. Let's see what she gets, but it almost doesn't.
I'm assuming
matter.
it's a Bork.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bork. So this is like those montages that you see on YouTube. You remember seeing like Gosu, like, "Hi, I'm Gosu. By the way, I'm just gonna 1v9 right now with Vayne," and like it gets everybody like hyped up, like, "Oh yeah, I want to play Vayne." Like when you get 3 items on Vayne, oh, and she's also gonna get that what is that? The Last Whisper.
For Lord Dominic's.
Yeah. Oh, she says it. I mean,
yeah, they just need to play Protect the President and keep this Vayne alive. They keep Vayne alive, Vayne will carry this.
Okay, she's going to be going GA for that next item. All right, I agree with that because the later in the game it goes, the more valuable GA becomes. Especially when you were just talking about Protect the President. Like, there's not, well, there actually is a good amount of CC, but it looks like it's been used mostly offensively. Like, there hasn't been so much CC for healing. It's been mostly about going in. So that Zenith Blade is going to miss right there. And okay, we got this corral going forward into this Elder Drake. Oh, nice little slow. And here we go. We got
Over from Garen.
Garen. And let's see what happens here. This is definitely going to be a fight. There goes Garen running in immediately. Headfront's going to open into that. Oh my god, so much damage on that. Yo, knockup. Zyra's going to try to get the knockup of her own. And now Garen's running for his life. That's going to be one. That's going to be two. Oh my goodness. And now it looks like it's chase the Ezreal double kill for the Vayne here. And oh my god, did this just get turned all the way around right here? This is such.
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, Diana's been tunnel visioning on the big front line, the big meaty front line, and Vayne was just untouched once again. I mean, Trundle tried to go on to Vayne, but Vayne just kites out Garen, she kites out Trundle. The only person that has any possible way to get onto this Vayne is the Diana, and Diana has been using her engage to just keep on going onto the front line. Vayne's been positioning smart, staying far enough back that she's not getting caught by these.
Yeah, and I mean, that's going to be that inhib tower to even things up here. Inhib for inhib, and I mean, it looks like Lamar Jackson fan club inhib just spawned, and yeah, here we go. We got 10 seconds on this Elder Drake. Elder Drake is huge, but the problem is blue team Lamar Jackson fan club haven't had a chance to reset. So, and unfortunately, they have to do this. They have to because OTS is respawning right now. So if they don't go for this, like OTS just takes it freely. Oh my god, it's actually getting burned down so fast. And here we go, we're going in. That's going to be root landed. Oh my god, so much wombo combo with that Moonlight. And that's going to be Togepi securing that Elder Drake. But oh my, is it too little too late? Vayne's looking. And yeah,
that's GG.
Yep, so that's going to be the ace, and that's going to be GG. Well played, more than likely anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they still need to have a pushing wave, and they do have supers pushing down mid.
Exactly.
But they should be able to just end this with 30-second death timers on most of them. I mean, that was just that was fairly questionable, honestly.
They had to. They
try to force
it.
that. I don't think you have to. I think you can reset there and you can run straight to it, or you could reset earlier as soon as you won that fight and started pushing down. I think that they overstayed a little bit, didn't play around timers properly.
I mean, you could say maybe
they got punished.
Maybe they didn't need to push down the mid inhib. Like I feel like if they don't push down the mid inhib tower, yes, they can just reset right after that fight, and then they're in time to get the Elder Drake. But yeah, the moment they pushed down that mid inhib tower and got the inhib, like that changed everything because then there was about 15 seconds left until the Elder Drake, and obviously, when everybody's coming up right as Elder Drake is about to spawn, like you already saw the willingness of OTS to take these fights in the major objectives. So yeah, they definitely would have tried to burn it down as quickly as they could. So yeah, that's going to be GG. Well played. Great game, by the way. Like that was a lot of back and forth. It almost looked like Lamar Jackson fan club had turned it around in that one fight. But it looks like, yeah, this is going to be OTS picking up game one. And this is a best of 3 here on this playoff series. Okay.
Alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and head to a break. We will be back in about 10 minutes. So go and stretch our legs, get some popcorn. We're in for a series.
away.
All right, we're about to get back into the game. Let's take some time and just recap right here. So we got number three on the spot versus Lamar Jackson Fan Club. This is going to be the playoffs. Right there, we just saw what on the spot just basically won that game with, I'm going to say, superior macro, superior rotation, and just really good team fighting in general. We're about to get into the second draft for game two. And what would you like to see, Complex? What would you like to see from Lamar Jackson? Is there anything that you want to see differently from from their drafts, or anything like that?
From their drafts, not particularly. I felt like they had a really good draft. I feel like what they need to focus more on is in-game execution. I feel like they didn't really have, like, obviously I wasn't there in their call, but it seemed like their calls, their shot calling, was not the best, and their decision making as a team was not what you would expect from them. They normally play at a much better level. So hopefully coming into the second and hopefully third game for them, we see them, not get picked off nearly as much and play more for the objectives and try to push advantages when they have them. On the side of
Yeah, and I mean,
OTS, I mean, they played a really good game. Honestly, they did not have a clean draft. We'll say that much. Um, if they figure out, a better draft, like if they have a winning draft with how they've been playing in game, I feel like it would be a very quick, very easy game for them. I felt like they had to play a lot harder than they needed to in that first game.
I just want to point out again, just for anybody that's watching, on the spot is the higher seed. They are the three seed, so they did end up picking up that win against Lamar Jackson Fan Club, who is the number six seed. And we're getting right into the pick ban right here, and yeah, this is game two, best of three. Looks like the Thresh is going to be taken away on this spot. Is going to go ahead and take that away from the support of the Lamar Jackson Fan Club. Thresh is a pretty solid pick all around. That's going to be the Kaisa ban. Um,
Yeah,
Kaisa's
little
super
TJ.
good right now.
Yeah, Kai'Sa is an extremely good champion right now. I think that's a really good ban. And the Thresh ban is I mean, it's another ban from the first draft, but it's a good one. Little TJ is very well known for being a good Thresh player. So I'm perfectly okay with him taking this ban here. I'd like to see him also followed up with maybe even Nivea Man. Now that's a little bit questionable. Maybe Lamar Jackson fans been practicing the pick, but Nivea I wouldn't say is strongest pick right now, and they do ban the Shen. So targeting the top lane, that is Osnage's number one top laner that he has played this split, and following up with a Seraphine and a Zyra ban, not wanting
So
to give them that kind of poke bot lane.
yeah, it looks like that Zyra. I mean, when you looked at the combo, it wasn't so much the lane phase was that great with them, and that's going to be that first pick Samira that you talked about in game one. But yeah, they're going to go ahead and take that. And it wasn't so much the damage in the lane; it was more outside of lane phase. The Zyra Diana combo was just really, really good, and that's going to be the Senna picked up here for Lamar Jackson Fan Club in response. Obviously, Senna can flex, but we're seeing her more and more in that 80 carry role.
Yeah, Samira being picked up here is kind of denying the pick from Grand Tesoro, while also, just giving yourself a really strong lane champion. And they do end up going with the Senna Poppy for Lamar Jackson Fan Club. Poppy can go jungle or top, either or. Poppy is very strong in both. Poppy really good into the picks of like Camille and whatnot. So definitely gonna hopefully see OTS not try to go for that pick.
Oh my God, that
There,
is
they locked the
Darius.
Darius
Oh my God, that's awesome.
already.
This is
As the
Shage's
resident Darius main, I like this pick. I think Darius is a good pick into Poppy. I don't like Darius into Senna though. So it'll be real interesting to see how they follow up the rest of this draft. The Lamar Jackson Fan Club needs to pick a lot of long range kiting. If they can do
Ooh.
that, then they'll have a really strong draft. And the Alistar. Alistar is a very strong support right now in the meta, arguably the best. Samira Alistar is a pretty dangerous lane, but Senna does well into both of them. I mean, she has the range to kind of avoid a lot of their damage.
Oh, there goes
And
that game. It was taken away in game one.
being locked in. I like putting some more priority on the jungle pick here. I don't know the viability of Kayn though in this current state, Blue Kayn is viable, but I feel like Rost is just not that strong right now after the nerfs to Gore Drinker. So a little bit of a questionable pick. I know Yogiza is a very strong Kayn player, though. I feel like he can still pilot it fairly well.
We'll definitely have to take a look at what Kane does because I mean, if it goes 20 minutes or something and you're not getting your form, like obviously that's not good. But I mean, if you're getting your form pre 10 minutes, like yeah, he can turn into quite the pick around the map. So you can get really creative with Kane and the ganks and everything like that. So that's going to be the Yone taken away and the Kha'Zix. So it's definitely not going to be Yone versus Diana again. So we'll see what happens here in the mid side. And I mean, when you're looking at the solo laners now, so I mean, you are going to have to show at least your mid, or maybe you go for a jungle for OTS. They're just going to go ahead and keep pinching out the jungle to here, though. So we'll see what they get knocked down to. I mean, Graves is still available. Pantheon is still available if you're looking for something super simple in the jungle. And I mean, there's a lot of good picks right now for this jungle for OTS. So I mean, we'll see what they end up going for.
Yeah, Kennen is a bit of an interesting ban. I don't
That
believe
is
that would
weird.
be a very viable pick in mid lane right now, but hey, maybe it's something that, he kind of one tricks or something like that.
I think they might have messed up
we
right
don't
there. Like
know.
they forgot. I think they forgot that Darius was
And I guess
locked
they're
in
expecting Poppy. I don't know
jungle,
why you
man.
would ban. No,
Yeah,
ban
but
Poppy
he's already
support.
locked in. Oh, okay.
Poppy, and they take Malphite. So this could be a Malphite top or a Malphite support.
Mhm.
This, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm going to be
I
honest
think
with you.
that's going to be Malphite support. You get a really nice poke lane with those Qs, and you can go Imperial Mandate with them if you want to.
I mean, it could still be a Malphite mid lane, for all we know.
Ooh, now that's spicy. I mean, if we go Malphite mid, blind, I mean, that's a hell of a call right there by Lamar Jackson fan club to make that way. That's like throwing up that Hail Mary right there. Like Malphite mid blind, okay, we get the Rumble. Ooh, that's definitely Rumble mid. I'm coughing. And now they got to pick their jungle right now.
No, that's a Rumble jungle pick.
You think so?
No, that's Rumble jungle. Minneapolis is known for playing Rumble in the jungle with the Rumble in the jungle skin. It's kind of one of his staple picks, and
Definitely.
I'm thinking that's what they're going with.
They
Yep,
are.
that's what that is.
I hate that.
Yeah,
That's awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would never. OTS was another interesting draft. I mean, their first three picks were.
Everything was good except for the
okay.
Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, Orianna Alistar's really strong. Samira Alistar's good. Darius is all right if you plan on playing strong side top.
My favorite. Right. There we go. That's my buddy.
Okay, so
right
this
there.
might be I could see this being a Malphite support Poppy top Rise mid angle.
Mhm.
But like Poppy and Malphite could kind of go wherever they want right now in terms of top or support. I think that Malphite support's a bit more viable. A little bit questionable. I would have maybe liked to have seen, something like a Morgana even, or even just take Leona and just match the CC of Alistar, but I guess deciding to opt away from that. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Now, one thing to note, Kayn is very strong.
Say that again?
Kayn is good into Darius. Kayn can get on top of Darius inside of his Q.
Yeah, there was a little bit of breakup there.
Is this better? Is this better? Okay. Anyways, so Kayn is a strong pick in a Darius because Kayn can get on top of Darius inside of his Qs, making it very difficult for Darius to actually hit that very crucial edge of the Q for the stack and the healing. I personally played Darius against Yogiza when he is on the Kayn, and it can be a very difficult pick to pilot. But I think that it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, I had the exact same matchup of Malphite top lane, Kayn jungle when I played the Darius. So we'll see if 5Jin is able to pick up on what I did to succeed in the lane, and that would be taking the phase rush. You take phase rush in a Malphite to deal with the slow. Phase rush gives you a lot of slow resistance and lets you just run down Malphite. If you don't take it, I mean, Malphite can just kind of kite you out and get away fairly easily from the Darius. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Another interesting matchup to note, though, is that Kayn versus Rumble. I feel like Rumble is not going to really have any agency on the map into Kayn. I feel like Kayn's just going to kind of live in his jungle.
I mean, the good news for the Rumble is like he's got really good lanes to play around. Like Darius Oriana, the Samira, Alistar. Like you kind of alluded to it already, but like those are all really solid lanes. Like, so he does have that. So it's not really on the Rumble to like necessarily win the lane for the people. You know, it's never up to your jungle to do that. But you know, he at least has lanes that he can kind of chill back a little bit and just he doesn't have to focus anybody pre a certain level, like, oh man, this matchup is so awful, like I have to camp this lane. Like he does have a lot of versatility here with the lanes matchup. So I mean, the fact that they went for the spicy pick in the jungle, like even though I don't necessarily like Rumble in the jungle, the fact that they kind of said, hey, you know what, as long as we pick solid lanes, like we can still kind of get away with this Rumble pick. So they did definitely think this out. I don't want to say like this is troll, and that is going to be the Poppy support. Like they were calling it in chat, and that's absolutely Poppy support into the center. So that's actually a huge takeaway, because when you look at Samira Alistar, like what they want to do is dive in. They want to go at you, and Poppy just puts up steadfast presence, and he stops it. She stops it right there. So we're going to see how this plays out, because every time I've seen Poppy into something like this, the Poppy kind of shuts it down. Like they just shut it down so hard. Like you see it into Pantheon, you see it into the Pantheon support and everything like that, where you want to just dive in and things like that. And just Poppy's just like, hey, all I got to do is push down here, and you're basically done right there. Okay, and yeah, we are going to be taking a break right here while we get into the game. So I like both teams. Like they definitely thought this out a lot, and this is going to be game two. The number 3 seed on the spot versus Lamar Jackson Fan Club. And when we come back, we're going to be right into the game, and we're taking that pause to load in for competitive integrity. Thank you for sticking with us, by the way. I'm not in game yet. I am watching the stream though. It looks like you're already in.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
This is what I was talking about. Like, I don't get why the hell it takes me so long to get in, even though my ping is so low.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, so you're basically live. So what are you at, 30, 40? Okay, so you're live. Okay, I'm good.
Alrighty, we're good. Yeah, I've been good. Yep. Alrighty, so looking like we are just gonna see a normal 5-point start. Nothing too crazy. A little bit interesting. I would have liked to have maybe seen a little bit more aggression on like maybe an invade, but I mean it's the safe play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, what I'm going to be looking at is, I mean, Poppy took Ignite right here. So, I mean, if Alistar, Senna, you know, they're both short range, so they both want to go in and dive and everything like that. I'm going to be looking to see how Poppy plays this, because that steadfast presence is basically how you're going to win this lane, you know? So, if Poppy's on point with the timing and everything, like anytime Senna, or I'm sorry, Samira and Alistar want to go in, it's basically going to get shut down pretty hard. And the other thing was, we were kind of talking about this in loading. Was, what was it? Rise Orianna. Generally, it's Orianna favored. But then when you look at the top side, you were talking about this Darius Malphite matchup. Like, I know we're gonna get a lot of info here, but like, what else were you talking about into that lane with Darius Malphite?
So for Darius to actually win this lane against Malphite, Darius needs Phase Rush. And the reason for that is Phase Rush and Ghost specifically. The reason for that is because if Darius doesn't snowball the lane, Darius will get beat fairly hard once Malphite hits 6 with ganks from Kayn. It's going to be a topside camp, more than likely this game. So Darius really needs Phase Rush and Ghost to just be able to run down the Malphite and negate all of the slow that Malphite would do with the Q. Now, he would become fast himself, you know, stealing movement speed, but Darius is still able to keep up and be even faster than the Malphite and just runs him down.
Oh my god, that Pulverize by the Alistar just whiffed everything. I don't know what that was, but that was interesting. Maybe he was just like trying to intimidate Poppy right there. A little bit of trading action going around. All right, there we go.
Ooh, double knockup.
Yeah, and Poppy just immediately goes in. Oh, that's gonna be what? That's gonna be rooted up.
Samira.
Samira's getting a turn around. That's the Ignite going down. So much damage. I think she's gonna fall. Can she get out of this? No, Poppy's looking for more. She does have flash available. She doesn't want to burn it down. And now she's just chasing down this Alistar, and that could be. Oh, they're barely gonna get out of there. So, Samira just barely avoids that first blood. And you kind of see what happens here. Like, if Samira goes in, Poppy can do the W, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? You're close to the wall. Even if I miss the W, I'm just going to EU W in place. And then you get the Samira root, or Senna root as well. So it just locks you in place even longer. So Samira was really lucky to get out of there with her life, not giving up that first blood. And now she's going to be basically losing a lot of this wave right here. I don't think they're going to be able to crash it. So, I mean, she should be able to get to the wave and not lose too much. And Rumble's over here picking up that Scuttle Crab and everything like that, which is surprising. I mean, I thought for sure King would just, you know, go in, take everything. But it looks like, I mean, he did go for an invade right there with the little wraparound.
Yeah, and one thing to note, Darius did go for the boots with the Doran shield. Did get a little bit of a cheater reset. So, I mean, he is still going to try to run him down, but boots is just not enough to catch Malphite. Malphite can just Q and still walks away faster than what you'll be able to run him down with.
I mean, huge
waves. Looking like we're going to see a gank, though, topside.
Yeah, here comes that Rumble.
Got to be careful.
And then bot we got engages too, like everything. And look at that, that Poppy's going in, and there goes the Samira into the root. And here we go in the top.
That's a dead Malphite.
That's definitely a dead Malphite. That's going to be first blood going over to the Darius right there. And look, we're trying to get this straight here. Here goes King, knocked away with that headbutt. Flashes force.
Knockup.
Now he's in so much trouble. And look, Samira just walks away. She's like,
Oh.
oh god, and that could have went that could have went so bad. Like, I mean, it actually didn't. So Samira lived through that with that Kane gank with that nice wraparound, and yeah, now we're just getting some trade in the mid lane too. Normally, you see Ryze take a lot of damage from Orianna, just the way her ball works compared to the way Ryze EQ works and everything. It's a little bit tougher to dodge her damage, because it's just a shorter cooldown with her Q. I said cool. That's not a word. So yeah, I'm actually really impressed with this Ryze to not get bullied out quite yet, but the problem that you run into a lot of times with Ryze Ori is you're going to run out of mana before she does. He did back already to get that mana crystal, and you kind of see like he burned TP to get back to lane already. Nice creative.
Yeah, Darius does start off with the Mert Tread, so I mean I like the buy option. Make yourself even a little bit faster, and just have that tenacity. But I mean, in this matchup, I almost say that the Boots of Swiftness is just better. I mean, yeah, you'll take more damage from poke, but you negate that slow a lot more, and you have more movement speed, especially without having Phase Rush or Ghost. I mean, you really you need the movement speed. And looking like we are going to possibly see a gank down here bot side.
Oh, nice Steadfast Presence going in right here. Still going to get that knockup. And okay, here we go. Flames were just going down, and they're just walking away. Rumble's taking a little turret aggro here on the way out. And, oh, gosh. And here we go with Samira's little win roll right there. I always call it a win roll. Oh, Ryze ulting in. Let's see what happens here. That Realm Warp. And he's just going to get headbutted away. Kane's here with the gank as well. And he's going to do a lot of spinning. Rooted up by that Ryze.
That's a dead Alistar.
Nice. Good job here by this Red Team. Lamar Jackson Fan Club. Steadfast Presence goes up just to sway everything. That's a flash.
Oh, but they get the return kill.
Nice job by this Rumble. Oh, and now he's taking
here.
Look at this. And Ryze is actually turning around. There goes that shockwave. That's going to be one. Samira goes all in right here. That's going to be two. That's going to be the double kill picked up. Can she get three? She's definitely going to get this. That's going to be the triple kill. And this is the things of nightmares. When Samira turns online, getting a triple kill at 7 minutes, she's going to be so strong. Like, it looked like they had a really good plan set up, but blue team is just outplaying it early. Like, on the spot is just outplaying it early. Like, they have the better lanes. They have the matchups and everything like that. And you would think that the Poppy just shuts everything down, but the way it was played out, they just staggered everything a little bit better, and they were on port.
Darius.
Yeah.
Darius just misses that cannon using the W, misses the E. You got to get out of here, Darius. You should know that this Kane's going to be topside after everything that just happened in that bottom lane. Staying any longer than this is just crazy, and he does spot out the Kane on the scuttle. And
yeah, that's gonna be that first turn.
RTS get the first drag.
Yeah, so now Samira's sitting at 300 gold bounty. Nice roam up by the Alistar. And I mean, Shockwave's not available. It doesn't matter. Equalizer. Good job by the Rumble to pick it up. Hey, you know what I said? The Rumble is kind of weird, but this guy obviously knows what he's doing. Great job with this jungle support combo to make this roam up and to take advantage of this Ryze right there. He doesn't have Flash. He doesn't have Realm Up, Warp. And I mean, he was doing pretty well right there with the Orianna, but Orianna was just kind of locking him in place. She didn't have enough mana or anything. And they just ran up and they just nuked him down, and he couldn't do anything about it. So great coordination here with on the spot. They keep on making these plays proactively around the map. And this is 2 games in a row where we're just seeing, even when things look like they might not have had the best draft, like they're still just finding ways to make plays. They're getting creative with their ganks. They're getting creative with their setups. And I really like what I'm seeing from this team.
Yeah, if I'm Darius right here, I'm looking for a kill in this top lane. You know that Malphite still doesn't have ult for probably at least another 15 seconds. I mean, it does have quite a bit of a cooldown at level 1, and you have this wave shoved. I mean, you could just kind of run him down and at the very least force out Flash, or when it comes up, I mean, you could force him to have to burn it. So, I mean, it's a little bit questionable to just hold the wave right here. I would have liked to have seen him play a little bit more aggressive with it. Especially punishing Malphite's reset. Malphite ended up going for a Ruby Crystal. That's not what you want to do into Darius. You almost always want to rush Bramble with the stone plate, or the plated steel caps. That's what they're called. You almost always want to rush that, especially against Darius. So, a little interesting here.
I mean, the good news is Darius is up about 20 CS. So, I mean, with this freeze and attack, like, Malphite, he's denying so much farm from the Malphite. So that's the good news here. Like, he might not be getting the kills, but he is taking advantage when it comes to gold.
Yeah, but Malphite's not a champion that exactly needs gold. But hold on just a minute. We got a gank
Oh, there
going
we go.
mid.
There goes that equalizer going down. Now Raz in a lot of trouble. They're just capping him. That's like that's so easy right there. So simple. You pop that Alistar ulti, you pop the Rumble ulti, and it's just that wombo combo locking him in place where he's eating so much damage, and Ori just goes ahead and secures it. So great job to be proactive. And like I said, I really like what I'm seeing from OTS. Like you can see why they're the third seed. Like and Kane is coming up right here. I don't think he should be here. You just kind of you can soak the experience, but you got to be really careful just because you don't have your form yet. You don't have your first item, and they're doing a lot of damage early. Like Rumble and Ori both do a lot of damage early on. Like, and if you misplay it, and yeah, Ori's actually taking tower shots just because I think she had corrupt when she had hit Kane with the auto attack right there. So I mean that actually proc that turret aggro.
Yeah, and we're gonna see a gank coming here mid lane on the Orianna from Kane.
Yeah, Kane
just out of range.
And she doesn't have flash for a little bit. So I mean, if Kane wants to, he can just kind of camp this side. And Rumble actually rotates over just to make sure he's covered, covering that Orianna. So good job by Rumble to kind of just make sure that your laner is safe. Like Orianna is doing really well into this lane. Like Rise is only what 0-3-2. Like Ori's way ahead. We're getting plates going over to the bot side. You're already up about 4K almost on this blue team. So on the spot, it's performing really, really well. Even if we were to say hypothetically, like they got 2 losing lanes, oh my god, here we go, Darius.
That might be a dead Kane.
Kane has to flash away. Darius runs into it, and here we go. We got the Kane ulti. I'm inside you, and there goes Kane's just gonna go ahead and fall right there. I mean, he tried to get out of that, but I mean, Darius and Orianna together, you're not gonna outplay that just yet, buddy. And good job by the Darius to actually rotate down and just collapse on Kane right there. Kane went for that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Kane was a little bit greedy there, trying to go for the invade when you don't have top prio. Your top laner's down 1,000 gold. Oh, a little bit of a missed opportunity from the Alistar.
Oh, he just pops the Unbreakable Will and just walks right. Oh, a nice job.
Great flash.
And I don't think she's going to get it, but Samira's going for it, and that's going to be the ult coming down by Samira. Goes in target, and now, oh, so much work, but here we go. Rooted up.
Samira's in trouble.
We have a lot, and now, oh, this could be a double kill. That's going to be one fall, and Cindy's picking up one. Samira's barely getting away with her life right here. That's going to be the wave pushed in as well. This Drake is firing in about 20 seconds. And here we go. Oh, no. And that's going to be the Orianna. Stunned up into the wall and steadfast presence. Going to rip on the top wave.
Oh, misses everything.
And here we go. Flash forward by the Rise. And Samira actually has to flash away. And that's going to be the Drake secured absolutely for LAMAR Jackson right here. So great job by them to make the proactive play to collapse down on this bot side. Samira, I'm surprised she got away with that with her life, in all honesty.
Yeah, she went in with no mana and... Oh, hold up. We got a top lane fight here. Oh, Darius just missing with the gore. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, you can't really run him down. He just pokes you down and just runs away. Can't really do anything there. Still has unstoppable force, so there's no real point for Darius trying to force anything, but he is trying to just hold a freeze here. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Down there in that bot lane, Alistar tried to go for the headbutt pulverized combo, and Poppy predicted it very nicely and blocked it. Samir went in trying to save, but didn't have the mana to fight back, and Orianna going down the roam. Samira had no mana, no health bar to really help out, kind of troll, and ended up almost dying herself.
Ooh, big damage here on to the Malphite, but he just walks away, and that's going to be the pause coming through. So as we go into this next pause and everything, excuse me, what are some of the things that you like what you're seeing so far?
So far I'm liking... Hold on, looking like we do have a pause here. But anyways, looking like we are seeing... I don't know what's going on here with this game right now. Anyways, I'm liking the Samir does have that early lead, which is very crucial with... Okay, what is going on here?
All right, so here we go. So Samira does end up completing that shield bow. We're going to talk about some items here. It looks like they're just trying to figure out what's going on with their connection and everything. So Night Harvester was picked up by the Rumble here. And then we got... so Kane's going for that... it's kind of a weird build where you go Muramana or whatever. Or you could actually just sell the tier, but we'll see what he does with that. And we're seeing more and more of that Senna Kraken Slayer and everything. So this is going to be a lot of damage coming out from Senna, where you're just outranging the Samira and just kind of poking her down. But I mean, the fact that Samira does have this immortal shield bow and everything, like that lifesteal that she gets when she's done that Inferno trigger and everything. Like I hate that move so much. I hate Inferno trigger so much, but the fact is, like, she does so well with all this sort of lifesteal and everything. So I mean, we getting these items coming in, and yeah, I think it's just going to be Ori's who's going to try to reconnect here, and a lot of bounties here on the blue team as well. So, well, we got 150 on Rumble, Oriana, 300 on Samira. So, I mean, if I'm Kane right here, like, I didn't even see if he has his form yet. Does Kane have his first form?
So I'm not sure. I don't believe he does yet. Looking like there is a little bit of drama going down in the chat right now. So hopefully we can get this all squared away and get back into the game that all of our lovely fans have come out here to watch and enjoy. Uh, I would really hope that that whatever's going on, these two teams figure this out.
Yeah, and I mean, I really liked what I was saying with the Alistar Rumble combo. Like, I know I was talking about how I didn't really like Rumble as a pick, but seeing what is his name, Minneapolis PD, which is kind of a mean name. I don't know. Well, maybe there's a story behind that, but seeing how they were playing together, on the roams on the top lane, I was actually really impressed with the equalizer so far. A lot of times when you look at Rumble as a character in that early to mid game, like a lot of what dictates the rumble, like if you're I'm saying, oh, if this is a good rumble or a bad rumble, it's all about the equalizers. Like if you put down good equalizers, like it can be straight up game changing. And so far, like his equalizers have been so good. So much so that it's gotten the Oriana pretty fed already. And this is normally a matchup that Oriana's already going to win, but the fact that Rumble and Alistar invested time and energy into actually getting Oriana ahead just kind of accelerates everything. So I mean, she's a level up and everything. And at the same time, I'm surprised that Kane has fallen so far behind. Um, at least not so much in farm, but so much in pressure. Like his pressure,
Looking like we're back in the action. Darius just gets immediately wombo comboed up here in top lane. Malphite, I mean, that's what I was talking about. Malphite just presses R and Kane just comes in and they just get the kill. Now, a little bit questionable here dropping the Rift Herald this early. I would have liked them to have seen it, then take it down to a little bit less HP before dropping the Rift Herald, but it doesn't end up mattering. They end up taking it down fairly quickly.
Yeah,
and
I think
do
they
exchange
did it.
that for Dragon.
I think they did it just because turret plating was about to fall. So, I mean, it was like maybe 10 seconds. So they were just trying to get as many places they could before the plating fell off. So they basically got all of it on that top side. So I actually really like that. I mean, you traded for that turret or whatever. I mean, or you traded for the Drakes, excuse me. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's not really a huge deal. And I mean, it did get a second charge off into that tier 2, which is interesting. Uh-oh, Kane's looking for the wraparound right here. Ori might be in a lot of trouble. We'll see what happens. A lot of trade damage. Here goes Kane coming in hot, baby. And he's just going to miss everything. And he does have ultimate available, but no flash. So, I mean, even if he wanted to... Oh, Malphite is here, though. Malphite doesn't have ultimate either. And we're shifting here to the bot side, and we're just watching how Senna is just kind of putting her foot down and saying, hey, you will feel my presence. You will feel these cues. And as she's getting more and more of those little passive souls stacked up, that range extends and everything. So it's going to be harder for them to actually deal with her range if this lane phase keeps going on. Obviously, the lane phase kind of ended already. We're going to see what the rotations happen. But if I'm Samira, Alistar, like, honestly, I kind of want to go to the mid lane. I don't really want to sit in this lane anymore. Like, even though Samira's already, pretty strong, it's going to get, yeah, look at the damage. There goes that nice DPS presence into the equalizer. And there goes that paw. And here we go. That's going to be shut down, going over to the Samira. Great job. And Poppy's in a lot of trouble. And, oh, there goes that nice little untargetable W by the center right there. And here comes Malphite trying to clean this up. He does have ultimate available, but we got the TP coming in from the Darius right here. And they're just going to back away. Oh, rooted up by the Rise. Great job to stop that TP. And now we're shifting to the mid lane. And here goes Ori doing all the work onto the mid tower. This is definitely going to fall. We're going to see what Ori does. And I think did she just shockwave that? No, I don't think so. I saw that blink for a second onto her ulti, and I thought maybe she had a shockwave to try to get the Kane, but maybe I missaw that. So a lot of damage going down here on the bot side. And like I said, like, if you're that Samira Alistar, even though, yeah, you had a big lead, now Ori's in trouble. Here goes Malphite, just going to run you down, baby. Does have ultimate, and that's going to be a dead Oriana. She's dead to Rice. There's no point in even trying to do anything. Shut down, going over to the Malphite. great job to recognize what was up. Ori was overextended. She didn't have flash. She didn't really have any vision or anything like that. So Malphite, he just collapsed and took that free shutdown goal. Good job.
Yeah, and this was a lot of what I was talking about this top lane matchup. I mean, Darius had to, take a proper build to shut down and just snowball off this Malphite, but likewise, when Darius had these freezes in top lane, Rumble really needed to put more pressure top to really try to accelerate this Darius pick. Darius is not some sort of weak side top laner that you take and just let him do his own thing in top lane and assume that he can just deal with whatever. You really got to enable the pick and try to accelerate it to carry the game. And I mean, hopefully Darius is going to be able to find a way to be useful in team fights, but I mean, right now they failed in that first mission of shutting down this Malphite.
And that's definitely going to be that mid tier 1 falling down. So 1 turret apiece for each team now. Obviously the mid turret is obviously a little bit more high priority, but Darius, good job to rotate through and actually take that. And Orianna is going to go ahead, and they did kind of a little lane swap. You don't see Orianna in the top side too often without TP here, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. See how it happens, and Darius just misses that pullback, and Rumble's looking for it. He does have Equalizer available, and here goes Orianna. Rise is in a lot of trouble. There goes the shot.
Dead Rise.
And that's going to be a dead Rise. You're right, 100%. 100% to 0. Blah. Sometimes you just got to sound it out. 100%. There we go. Say it slow. I'm sorry, that's not funny. Yeah, so that's gonna be the Prowler's Claw picked up for the Kane and everything. Now they're knocking down this tier 2. I want to see how they actually respond to this, because this is a lot of people rotating up, and Poppy's actually rotating down. So uh-oh, it's actually getting collapsed on the spot side. Here we go. That's gonna get spun out.
Just missed his pull.
And yeah, that root's gonna miss just barely too. So yeah, this Drake is gonna be up in about 50 seconds.
Yeah, and looking like already, I mean, OTS has the early rotation to this dragon, but Lamar Jackson fan club has a Malphite with an ultimate.
Ooh.
They have everything up right now except for Sunflash.
And he does have that blue form available, so yeah, he's trying to do the work here onto the Samira here. And that's going to be the ultimate. That's going to be a dead Samira. Equalizer going down. A lot of work here on the Rise. And oh my god,
Malphite missed ult.
Ulti just whipped everything. And Darius doing a lot of work here, but he's going to get chased down. Kane just rotates up, and he's going to go ahead and get that nice little hit by Pulverize here. And uh-oh, let's see what happens here. Does Poppy have steadfast presence available? Not quite. Okay, so yeah, they're going to go ahead and get out of there. Yeah, so Shockwave was already used, so I mean, Oria, even though she's threatening with the ball and everything, she doesn't have Shockwave, so she might try to do a cheeky skill with, what is it, Dissonance? Is that what it's called, the W for Orianna?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's going to be that nice Mountain Drake. That's going to stop the stacking that OTS had, and yeah, so that's only a 1,000 gold lead. This game had started to kind of snowball in favor of OTS, but it looks like with that last little exchange that Lamar Jackson fan club did, they are going to be, making the game essentially even at this point. And when I'm looking at Rise right here, like, you want to get that first item, that first 1.5 items are so important to Rise. Like, you see what Orianna has. She already has that Ludens complete. So even though I feel like Rise is going to be doing a lot of damage here eventually, the fact that he doesn't have that first item yet is actually pretty game changing. Like, once he gets like that first 1.5 items, like the damage that he's capable of putting out in such a quick sort of fashion can be really game changing, especially when you're looking at Senna, who kind of has like her trade patterns are just weird, just the way her passive works. It's not a super fast auto attacking character, but I mean, with the new build that she uses, it's definitely faster than before. Oh gosh, and Darius is getting collapsed on.
Yeah, and Darius is in trouble.
Yeah, and we'll see if they.
There's the Malphite.
Yep, there we go, and that's going to be a dead Darius for sure. We'll see.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. There's no real way for him to try to outplay Malphite ult with Kane. I mean, unless he was really fed, then maybe, but he just get blown up, and that's the story of top lane Darius right now in the current meta. Orianna's in trouble here if they want to go for this dive.
It looked like they were going to trade tier 2s for a second, but then we saw Samira and Alistar kind of back right there. I would have been okay with them to kind of trade tier 2 for tier 2 in that position, just because you kind of saw that a lot back in season 6, season 7 when it was that split push meta. Oh, nice little E by the or by the Poppy, and she's just gonna get headbutted away. He's like, hey, you come into me, but you know what? I just headbutt you away. I would have been all right with them trading that just because it kind of opens up the map a little bit and it allows you to put vision in places where you wouldn't really have access to before. But they opt not to do that, so which is fine too. It is 20 minutes into the game and Baron is up, so now it's all about that Baron dance. Like we saw it last game. Last game, OTS had the superior Baron dance. So we're going to see if Lamar Jackson adapted, if they learned anything from what they saw. Because last time, what we saw was as soon as OTS, noticed that there was no vision, they started up the Baron, they started up a fight. But this time, through Lamar Jackson fan club, has a mouth fight. They have a poppy. They have ways to start up and lock you down. So we're going to see what happens here.
Okay. Just kind of dance around this Baron here with Kane. Looking like nothing's really coming of it. No real fruit to bear. So I would like to see this Darius be in a side lane or, just maybe even in bot lane right now. Like, he has teleport. I'd like to see him try to pressure a side lane and force, some pressure on the other side of the map here. I don't think you're really accomplishing anything by staying here top side right now other than just adding more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to take your advice. He heard you. He's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and rotate to the top side. So what you want to do here is you want to kind of coordinate, push mid and top at the same time. That way, they crash at a similar time. So both lanes have to be responded to at a similar fashion. The timing here isn't quite the same. So yeah, Darius is just going to push that in and then rotate back down to this around this Baron pit, and yeah, Poppy's actually looking for this, so steadfast presence to drop, and oh, here we go, Alistar's looking for it, Equalizer is going to go down, slowing up everybody. Kane was trying to get a little cheeky assassination, he saw that Ori peeking, and he's just going to go ahead and walk away. Both teams says, hey, you know what, we're trading that Equalizer. Oh man, that headbutt pulverize just barely kind of missed.
Very questionable headbutt right there. Yeah, just that kind of pushed Malphite away and just took half your health bar.
Yeah, definitely not worth it.
Yeah, looking like a lot of the engage options right now for OTS is kind of on cooldown. So Lamar Jackson fan club kind of in the driver's seat of how they want to play this fight. I mean, if I'm them, I'm looking for something. Like, Rumble burned his ultimate during that exchange. Darius had burned E. I mean, Alistar just tried to go for a headbutt pulverize. Lost half his health bar. I think at that point you just force, there's not a whole hell of a lot left that they have in the tank to try to contest 5 ultimates.
Yeah, and this is the prize that you win. So when you're doing this sort of Baron dance and everything, when both major objectives are up, oh gosh, Ori's might be in trouble. There goes that flash forward. Shockwave is going to go ahead and win.
Beautiful play from the Kane.
Oh, nice little equalizer to just shut down everybody, and that's still going to be a dead Orianna. She is winning the stasis. They're going to trade 1-for-1 under tower.
That's a trade you take every time.
Yeah, that was so well played.
Jungle from mid.
Yeah,
now,
great job.
OTS needs to start pressuring an objective here and force something because right now, I mean, they got the smite advantage. Senna's at half HP right now. Like, Malphite has no ultimate. You got to force now.
I think that's what they're doing. It looks like Alistar's looking for it. He's still taking a lot of damage on the way out. A lot of folks from the Senna, I mean. And what I was trying to say is when you get into these sort of Baron dances, somebody gets chipped down and they have to back. Normally what you do is rotate to the other objective and then you set up your vision. That way, you can see and be prepared for the next objective, which is this Drake here that you see on the spot starting up here. And it looks like it's just going to be contested. I mean, King had died right there, so obviously they didn't feel comfortable, but that is going to put them on soul point with that Mount Soul. And now you're going to see them, this time, rotate up to the Baron, probably set up vision or clear out vision. And this is the little dance that we're doing. You see everybody with Sweepers here. This is how you know they understand macro. Like, how to put this nicely. So the difference between a team that understands macro and a team that doesn't, like, there are subtle things that you can kind of tell. Like, for one, how they control Baron.
Oh, big pull.
The wall. That was so Baron. Oh my goodness. And immediately they're going to start up the Baron. And that's how you tell the difference between players who understand macro and maybe players who are maybe uncomfortable with macro, like how well you use these sweepers, how well you control the objectives, and yeah, they notice right away that they're going to lay down this trinket and it's going to get cleared out. But I mean, Alistar took a lot of damage there on the way out. Baron's melting so fast. Oh, flashes!
Oh, goes for a flash E. That was a cheeky flash E he went for there.
Shockwave damage going down on the Senna though. She has to get out of there right away. So that was definitely a slap on the ass on the Senna saying, hey, Senna, you know what? If you walk up any further, we will kill you. This is our Baron. Get away. So yeah, that just basically shuts down any possibility of a steal. So great job by the Ori to recognize that, and that's going to be another Baron going over to the OTS spot. And yeah, now they're in the driver's seat once again. It's going to be a 3K, well, about 2.5K, we'll call it. And they're also on Dragon Soul point.
Yeah, so I mean, they got quite a bit off of that. They caught Kane, or they traded Kane rather 1-for-1 mid. They turned that into a dragon. Kane then trying to get vision on Baron, playing way too greedy right in Darius's face. I mean, Darius just hits a beautiful E, pulls him right through, they pick him off, and it's a free Baron. So, I mean, right now I would say that Yogiza's got to reel it back in, you know, pump the brakes. You're playing way too far forward, way too aggressive, and you're costing your team objectives. So, hopefully we see him, you know, reel it back in, and we can see Lamar Jackson fan club maybe try to stable out.
And I see Rise had went ahead and rotated up to this top side to push things. So I thought maybe they might rail more in with that Malphite ulti because Darius was there. And here we go. Yogiza's looking for. Oh, I thought somebody was there. Gosh, I was getting hype. I saw him going through the wall. I was like, man, is somebody actually in that grass? But no, nobody was there. Dang it. Starting up.
Yeah, and looking like we are seeing a Baron push down mid, just kind of trying to pressure the lanes here. Malphite does have an ultimate, so everybody has an ultimate on the side of Lamar Jackson fan club. Likewise, same story on the side of OTS, so just kind of trying to wait this thing out and just stabilize. Meanwhile, Darius is pushing on this top tower now.
Yeah, I was going to say the waves aren't there. Well, okay, so that actually is going to even it up. I was going to say you want these waves to keep crashing.
Darius wins this 1v1.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
if
no,
he doesn't get nuked.
Oh my goodness!
He just got deleted. I take that back.
Darius, I thought he won that, but guess not. But that is going to be that tier 2 going down. I'm here for the OTS and everything. So I mean, it's still a solid Baron push. I mean, you're trading that. Oh gosh, well, not anymore. That's going to be the stasis going down.
That Orianna.
Like,
it's not. Malphite goes in the goal.
Let's go. And here goes Malphite taking a lot of damage. That's the Sin ulti coming through. And oh my goodness, he's just left from the flames here. I thought Kane might have been able to turn that around, but not so much. That's the double kill going over to Samira. And Rumble did so much with that equalizer. So good. Okay, and flash forward. Oh, and he barely misses that harpoon. He actually hits a minion with it. And he's taking so much damage, so aggro, but that's the shutdown going over to the Samira right there. So really nice dive. That's going to be that tier inhib turret picked up as well. So I really like the go button that OTS has. As soon as they see an opening, they're not even hesitating. They're just saying, hey, we're going in, we're going in, we're going in. So great job by the Ori Wombo combo with the Alistar Ori Rumble equalizer. That was so good and so impressive to watch. Great coordination that they had. And it was kind of on the spot too because they were getting engaged on it and they just turned it so quick.
Yeah, and we do have Dragon coming up in less than a minute, so I mean, maybe OTS will be able to get Dragon Soul, or maybe Lamar Jackson fan club can, you know, properly contest this objective here. Now in that last team fight, very beautiful headbutt pulverize from the Alistar. It bought just enough time for the Orianna to be able to pop the ultimate, as her being low and in Zhonya's kind of baited everybody in for a huge wombo that turned into a huge successful team fight for them. Alistar doesn't go in right there. Orianna could have died and we could have saw a very different result.
Yeah, great plays by this team to kind of cover each other, you know, and this is going to be that Drake started up, and this is going to be for Soul. And there goes he just headbutts him away. He's going to get some damage. Top side unbreakable. Well, nice equalizer. That's aggressive going down, locking them in place. This is all for the Dragon Soul, baby. Rise is going to shut down that Samira. That's going to be that's going to be the Dragon Soul. And oh my good, so much damage on it by this 2K. And look at this proof by this Samira. And Rise is actually just doing so much damage.
Darius.
And look at
Darius has got Noxian Mud.
Resets for days, baby. Trying to catch it. Oh my god, that was so clutch.
So much.
Yes, let's
Orianna,
go, baby.
finish it up. Get the ace.
Ace. All right. So sick.
There we go. That's what you like to see. Darius able to get the execute, hits a huge two-man ultimate. He ends up going down himself, but I mean it sets up the Orianna to be able to clean up the double or the triple kill rather very nicely. Very well done there. Good positioning. I mean, that was it looked like a 50-50, but I mean they ended up coming out on top. Very good turn on that engage.
Yeah, I really like watching both of these teams play so far because you're seeing what
Rest
they
in
can
peace,
do.
Cannon Minion.
Like the damage that Rise was doing while they were rooted up by center right there was actually pretty good, but it just wasn't enough. Like and you just look at it, it's like, damn, dude, like if maybe I didn't fall behind so early because he is basically we'll call it a half item, maybe a full item. I don't know. We could call it one full item basically. But if he was actually even with Oriana right here, like I feel like if he had one more item, he would have been able to turn that around. Nice steadfast presence there by the Poppy to actually stop that headbutt pulverize. Uh-oh, that's a lot of... Okay, I was going to say he's in a lot of trouble, but yeah, he's just going to go ahead and walk away. Like, you see how
So,
powerful this Mountain Soul Shield is.
so some really questionable itemization from Darius here. He went for an Executioner's and a Bramble Vest. I don't understand the purpose of that. I don't think he understands they don't stack. It just means when you're getting hit or if you're hitting somebody, you're playing Grievous. But not the best play.
There's a
Meanwhile,
lot
here
of...
though, Samira is getting collapsed on by
Oh, there goes
the
that both
entire
and
LAMAR
King's
Jackson
gonna
fan
fall right
club.
there. That's going to be Rise picking up that kill right there, and they're looking for this Baron, and they're going to go ahead and start it up. Do they know that OTS is right here? Okay, so they really want this fight. They say, hey, you know what? It is 1-1. Oh, nice equalizer.
Rumble.
Equalizer by this Rumble. He is so good, and that's going to be the flash forward by the Darius. That's going to be one. Let's see if he can get two. That's going to be... Oh, it looks like he was looking for that second one, but yeah, Kane just went ahead and flashed with that little nice
Push down to try to end this.
Yeah, that should be the game right there. Really solid Rumble ultis from Minneapolis PD. Like, I mean, I take back what I said in Champ Select. Like, I said I didn't like the Rumble pick, but I mean, you can see that he plays this champ really well, and I'm really impressed by what he was able to do here in this game. And this should be, yeah, this is definitely going to be the Nexus. So great game here by On the Spot. This is the number 3 seed who's taken down the number 6 seed in, I would say, pretty convincing fashion. Like, oh, Shockwave, big damage going through. That's going to just pad that KDA on the way out. They say, hey, thanks for the memories. Bye-bye. Enjoy the ride home. So great job, great game by both teams. And yeah, what did you think about these games?
So, game one, I mean, what can you really say? Game one, they lost draft and won the game. Game two, they won draft and won the game. I mean, it just looked like, the better team on the day just came out and won. They executed better every single step of the way. They played really well. Game one, their macro was very clean. Game two, there were some shaky moments, but they ended up pulling out the W. And, I hope that when they go back and they prep for Mailbox's Angels next week, that, they clean up some of these smaller mistakes. And if they can do that, I think this is a team to be feared.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how well they played together. And yeah, we are going to hopefully be getting some interviews here on the way in. So it's going to be a couple of minutes before we get into the end. Oh, who do we have here on the interview right now? All right, so here we go. We got Zealot here, captain of OTS. Great game, and it was really impressive watching you guys play and everything. Like, what can you tell me heading into this game? Like, did you spot something in Lamar Jackson fan club that you were able to exploit here in the draft? Because the first game was kind of like we were like, oh, what's going on here? So, like, what was your game plan coming into game one?
So basically, we approach this week like we approach any other week. We mapped out what they like to pick, when they like to pick it. I gotta say, it was like this week was by far the hardest to prep for, just because they're so potent on so many different picks. It's really, really, really difficult to remove any one player on their team from the game. And to that end, if we ban the Samira, their bot laner can play Vayne at a high level. They can play Kai'Sa at a high level. We knew that. If we take out the Thresh, they're going to play the Leona. They're going to play the Nautilus, what have you. Game two kind of took us by surprise with some of their picks. But
what were you most surprised
made us a bit more confident. Mainly the Poppy pick.
Poppy support,
yeah. We actually accidentally banned the Ornn because we thought that the Poppy was top lane.
Yeah,
So,
we all thought Poppy was top.
So I can't imagine what was going on in the voice chat there. on their side for that one when we ban the Orin. But
Okay, and I
yeah.
got one more question for you, and then I'll see if so some of the macro decision making. Who is the shot caller
Mhm.
for your team?
Um, it was mainly me and Henry, Minneapolis PD.
Minneapolis PD. Okay, so great equalizers there that he was running. I'll turn it over to Complex. Maybe he's got some questions for you as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so game one, I think you guys had a very interesting draft, to say the
Mhm.
least. A lot of the picks that you guys ended up going for were very off meta. Can you tell me, did you guys just feel more comfortable on these picks that you guys could execute better? Or was there just something in prep that you guys saw that made you guys think that right now this is what we want to do?
So when we approach how we're gonna play, going like how we're gonna prep for each team going into each week, we don't really look so much at which champions are good at the moment. As long as a champion isn't like 40% win rate, we're pretty confident that the correct team comp into the correct picks and pick orders and that kind of thing, we will wind up with a better draft as long as we prep well enough.
Gotcha.
So
So,
how good a champion is doesn't really factor in very much.
all right, I guess that's one way to look at it, yeah. Going into game two, you played the Darius.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Darius, that was an interesting game. What made you decide to go with the teleport over Ghost in that lane with Malphite?
Basically, my logic was if Malphite ever stepped away, I really wanted to pressure him early in the lane, and I think I accomplished that. But my logic was if I'm ever like holding a freeze, I basically can hold Malphite where I want him, and the wave can be exactly where I want it. But if he steps away and teleports to make a play, I can follow. And Ghost Darius just can't do that, and Ghost just isn't worth it when I can Stride Breaker once I have my Mythic. Like, you get your Mythic in the first 10 minutes as Darius anyway, and once you have the Stride Breaker, I feel like some of the point of him in team play is nullified. The Ghost would be a little redundant, I guess.
I get what you're saying. So you were playing more for you wanted that TP advantage. You wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that you were able to match them. So I definitely can see that because making plays, being able to respond to things around the map is um, something that the meta's kind of evolved to in season 10, season 11, where TPs, globals, like these things are all super important. And playing for lane, it's not quite the same as they've been in the past and everything. So I could definitely see your logic on that one. That's a good point that you make. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say see if there was anything else that you wanted to say here, Zealot.
Yeah. So LJFC, really good games, guys. Definitely one of the best teams we've played so far this season. And we will do our best to represent you guys in the remainder of the playoffs.
Yeah, and thank you so much for stopping by, Zealot, and great job by on the spot number 3 seed. Like, really nice macro by this team, really nice team fighting, and yeah. So looks like Lamar Jackson fan club himself is actually in here. So here we go. Complex, I'm sorry. Complex, go ahead and start that up.
So, Lamar, unfortunate loss in this series today, but you guys played very well and you guys put up one damn good fight. Tell me, in the first game, you guys had, in my opinion, a far superior draft. What do you think? What do you think was the big turning point in that? What do you think held you guys back from being able to close that one out with a win?
Just an really bad call at the end. I think we're too low to do the dragon. That's probably that's pretty much it. I think just horrible call there. OTS played well. Props to them, and good luck to them on their next playoff game. I think it's against Mailbox's Angels. I think. Yeah, unfortunate loss for us today. We did what we could, but yeah.
Honestly, I was really impressed with the guys' gameplay, especially in game one. Like game one specifically, because it was so back and forth. Like it could have went either way. You know what I mean? And you kind of talked about it where it was just that decision making at the end. you guys ended up trying to start up that Elder Drake, and yeah, like you were just too low, and everybody was coming up, and they just collapsed on you. So that's super unfortunate. But you guys played so well in this series, and I just want to say, like, don't be bummed out at all because like they had to play extremely well to beat you guys. Like if Rumble, like the game 2 right there, if Rumble's equalizers were just a little bit off right there, you guys turn those fights and win. You know what I mean? And so yeah, don't feel bad about these fights at all. Like you guys have a super strong squad, and I definitely feel like if you guys just stay together, practice together, get on the same page a little bit more. Like I feel like this team can, really do something, in the upcoming seasons if you continue to stick together.
Well, I think we'll feel the way we feel.
That's fair.
There's really no changing that. I mean, I think there's a lot of mistakes. I mean, there was actually plenty of mistakes. I think you didn't really point it out. I mean, like there was one fight where I kind of blew my ult on the Trundle, didn't even get the assist, and then the next fight, if I had the ult, we probably could have. I mean, they all lined up, and if I had it, probably could have gotten the in-hit. Probably could have got the game. I mean, there were other factors outside of the game involving like scheduling. The pauses kind of interrupted the flow of the game. There are a lot of those. But yeah, we'll feel the way we feel.
Yeah, and
Alright.
that's understandable. To sum up your entire season, you guys did start off, it was a rough start, but you guys started to smooth out those bumps, and you guys were coming through the storm playing very well. So going into next season, is there anything specific or anything that you maybe want to change going into next season if you guys are going to be here? Or do you guys just want to kind of try to keep the momentum going that you guys carried through the back half of regular season?
Well, I'm not sure what the rules are for keeping teams in this league because I don't know if we're gonna stay as I mean, I'm not sure we can stay like the players can stay, but I'm pretty sure the teams get like changed up, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think the kinks are still being worked out, but just assuming that you can still carry through with the same team, would that just be the plan then?
Well, I mean, that's a question we're gonna have to discuss privately, but I don't have the answer to that right now.
Okay, that's fair. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for putting up a very exciting series. Unfortunate results, but we do hope to see more from you guys coming into next.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, that's basically going to conclude this stream here. So really exciting game here between On the Spot and Lamar Jackson Fan Club, and going into this next matchup with On the Spot. You said who are they going to be playing next, Complex?
Mailbox is Angels.
Mailbox is Angels. So that's going to be next week, right?
Yeah, that should be next weekend, depending on whenever they get it scheduled.
Okay.
But yes, going into the next week of play, that will be who they face.
Awesome. So that's going to be, I think they're the number 2 squad. So should be a really exciting matchup. And that's basically going to end it. I thank you everybody for tuning in, and hopefully you come back next week and check out the games. And thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and call it at that point. Have a great day.
Awake to my
They do ult in behind the Zyra. Meanwhile, teleport is coming out from Victor. Kaisa flying in with the ultimate. Hecarim using his ultimate now, going in onto the back line. Zyra barely getting out of this, very low. Victor doing a ton of damage, just going after him, running them down. This Victor is massive right now. Onto Morgana Ezreal. Meanwhile, Hecarim is here on the counter gank, going in onto Jhin. Sack drop very low, forcing his passive. Meanwhile, Jhin does end up going down. Hecarim looking for the double kill, does end up getting it.
Misfortune stays alive.
Oh, that was such a good misfortune.
Oh my
Bruce.
The bloodbath. Protobell, he just basically moved it to the back line. They're jumping everything on Ornn right now, though. Ooh, hey.
found you.
That was a really good shoot to land it and get the grab it on proc.
And that's going to be Inferno 92 getting the kill.
Here comes the freaking bug. Everyone is so freaking low. Oh my god, and just an absolute wipe.
Is he? No! Jacob's gonna be able to get the kill here, and the Misfortune's caught out of position. Here comes the Samir ultimate. That's a double kill. Oh my god!
Yasuo hits the tornado and gets down on the Ezreal.
Red Team Silver Dragon! That's gonna be Ocean Soul going over to on the spot, and the Wukong is gonna get the shutdown. Wukong survives! Wow. Are you kidding me? That's gonna be the flash over. That's game!